And it's time for the 10th round of the season, and we are in Japan, and it is Yuki Suo on pole from Revo and Sebastian Ocampo. And it's Leo, Akari, and U-Cable. Pastor Maldonado starts 7th from Minot, Huey, and Neil Rez. Then it's Theodore Schumacher rounding out the top 10 with Dap Sanchez alongside. Daniel Bogdasarov starts 12th, Bob 13th, then it's Ina Babnis only 14th, Polish Leclerc, Jacques Tigranes, Marcus Nelson, Carlos Kynes, Emma One World starts 19th, and it's Mahaviri Gunnapan, David Camino, and JD Venter. Well, 10 rounds done with only another 6 to go. With Hyperdrive and Andretti with a new livery, all 5 lights go on. We go green here in Tokyo, and that is a very good start for the home driver in Yuki Suo, getting a pole position. He's going to be under threat very quickly from Revo, whose Hyperdrive team are very much supporting everything Sonic related. Sebastian Ocampo, and his Andretti team, as Charles Leclerc, Lawrence Leclerc, with another issue. That's a 5-second time penalty. This has not been his favorite track over the years. It's Leo in that pinnacle car going down the outside. He's won his first race of the season, and already he could surely go for another. That's not quite close enough to actually make it stick. Neil Rez with a 5-second time penalty of his own, and as Theodore Schumacher trying to get past that car, Akari has dropped down to P6 after Pastor Maldonado tried to make an overtake. Neil Rez dropping down to 8th place now as U-Cable takes his way up into 16th. Akari down to 7th. So it is Yuki Suo leading the way from Leo, who was about to try and get past the man who's currently 2nd in Revo, and he's still right alongside him. Will he go for the dive bomb? He does try and dive, doesn't really get too close to even think about making the overtake proper as they all funnel through the Casio triangle. And so it's 2-0 from Revo from Leo. Sebastian Ocampo's PS Andretti team, and that gold is from that PS Automobiles and partnership that they have. And they are apparently going to have a new livery that they will use throughout the rest of this season and next season, revealed after this race in Tokyo. They're just doing fully gold because they're leading the championship. They're as close to winning it as anyone can get right now. Revo's Hyperdrive team with this Sonic Frontiers inspired livery to celebrate the announcement of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, or as it's called in Japan, Sonic 3 Tokyo Mission. Oh, Jacques Tigranes is sending him a message about his helmet. Can't exactly do that if we're already mid-race. But yeah, we've apparently there was a leaked Rodin Toyota livery. In fact, it got to the point where they were considering it, but due to reasons, they couldn't. Congrats to Red Bull for not spending their budget at all. That's pretty cool. There's always a lot of honk around here. But yeah, it is Yuki Suo leading the way with 10 laps to go from Revo and Leo. The top 4, actually there's quite a gap forming between them. But Pastor Maldonado on the back of Sebastian Ocampo. He's looking to try and get past that golden Andretti car. He's been forced very wide through both Denya turns. He's got the inside line, forces his Jaguar with all of his might up into 4th position. And Ocampo now on the outside line. He's still going to try and get himself up there into P4, but he's just been forced to submit to the Jaguar car. Akari now getting himself up into P6. Very nice. He's from the pinnacle car. He started 5th, and he now has quite a way to go if he wants to meet his own teammate. He's got the fastest 2nd sector of anyone. However, should it dry, he would be the one to suffer the most out of the drivers in the top 10 even. Bogdasarov is in 10th, so it wouldn't even matter that much, as Neil Rez has been given a time penalty let's take a look at what's happened here. It looks like we've had a little bit of a spin. Ragunathan with a time penalty here. The Theodore Schumacher in the pits, and that's with front wing damage. It's only been 4 laps, and Milrez has already got 10 seconds worth of time penalties. Definitely not ideal for the Renault Edams driver, but that has created a little bit of a field divide between the top 7 and the rest of the field. So let's see if we can get some quick team radio. I know I haven't been very talkative with this race, but can't really be talkative if there isn't much to talk about. This race has kind of been a little bit mid within this opening 4 laps, even with that problem for Theodore Schumacher. I might be doing a Q&A soon, I guess. Yuki Tsuo, he's leading by 1.3 seconds with Weibo and Leo behind. And yeah, there's not really too much to say. There isn't really a gap that has formed where it's actually that much of a big deal. No, there is! It's Dav Sanchez in the pits. JD Venter out of the Prix. Oh my goodness me! Championship contender for the 2nd time. Not the finishing in the points. And the top 5. No, that's the top 3 who've all stayed out on a very rapidly drying track. Everyone from 4th down has come into the pits. That is from Maldonado to Theodore Schumacher in pit lane. But the top 3, Yuki Tsuo, Reibo, and Leo, all staying out there on the intermediate tyres for now. They will likely come into the pits, but does that mean they will fall as victims to Maldonado, Ocampo, and Akari? But there's still a lot of standing water out there. I don't know why the team thought to come in at the end of that lap 4. The track is still most definitely wet. It's dry now as these guys approach Sector 2. Sector 1 is completely dry. He's in with the 2nd sector now. Maldonado and his crew closely gaining on the top 3. So there is a very good shot that when the top 3 come in, their tyres will be overheated. And so there is absolutely no way of knowing whether or not the top 3 will still be the top 3 once they've come in, and Yuki Tsuo is facing the wrong direction. And the Rodin Toyota driver from Japan, and it's home-based heartbreak. The top 3 now funnel into pit lane, Pastor Maldonado. It would be foolish to assume that this isn't happening. He is going to take the lead of this E-Prix from whoever decides to want to lead. Akari right on the back of Sebastian Ocampo, but Pastor Maldonado, he's the man who is leading this race. He's taking a look at Hyperdrive. He's then 9th and 11th after that late pit stop for Ravo. The sky is still very dark out there. There's still a shot of it raining. And Lawless Leclerc with a time penalty for causing a collision. David Cameron dropping down to 16th place. He was one of the most impressive rookies. And Bob with a time penalty. Bob with a time penalty for causing a collision. And that's with Leo, who has a puncture. Leo, after only 1 lap out there, has a puncture. Oh my goodness me, how has that happened to the number 30 car? After some insane luck and fortune earlier on this season, his watch run out. And while his teammate is currently P3, he's currently P21 last place and unable to really do too much about it. But it is Pastor Maldonado setting the fastest lap at basically half-race distance from Sebastian Ocampo and Akari. And that is very, very good showings from Maldonado. We're looking at Iron Baroness now, currently 8th place in the race. He's on hard tires. Came out of the pits on hard tires, so he's definitely going to be able to go very long on that Frontiers inspired hyperdrive car. But Leo and U-Cable both. Oh my goodness me! Leo and U-Cable both with punctures, and that's basically both of their days over. My goodness me! But as for the top three, it is Maldonado from Ocampo from Akari, your top three on lap 7 of 13 as they are about to approach lap 8. A lot of confusion and going on down at those teams as well. So we're not too sure what's really going on either. It's a very, very wild ride. As into the pits then come Ocampo, Maldonado, and Sanchez. We're going to stay on board with that Rodent Toyota car. Leo is almost definitely going to get lapped here. That is Leo right ahead, which is actually why Pinnacle Formula E team couldn't actually pull in Akari. So Akari is out there on very worn, slick tires. It's going to be very if or ands on whether or not he's actually going to make it to the end for that number 10 car. It is Baroness and Ravo currently second and third. They're still yet to make their second pit stops. Theodore Schumacher in for his third. This time it's actually just because he needs to make a pit stop. But Akari definitely losing a lot of time, and I do hope that the two hyperdrives swap positions, or else they're going to fall victim to Mahavir Raghunathan here. But yes, it is Akari leading the way, and his teammate on a few seconds down the road. 10 seconds the gap between first and second. It is almost a perfect pit stop gap. It actually isn't. Never mind. Pit stops around here, it seems to be around 16 seconds, and yellow flag, and that's for Akari! Akari hits the wall. He just about gets out of it then, and so he will be able to peel into pit lane. But he just needs a good hands out to him now. MF1 World, 5 seconds for causing a collision. Just phased through the car there. And Leo is over a minute off the race lead. But it is Babanus from Ravo now, as Akari does peel into the pits. It still looks very dark out there. There's still a chance of another rain shower. We don't know. But it is Babanus from Ravo, from MF1 World, from Maldonado and Ocampo. Oh, and look at how hard these two are racing. This is for the net race lead, mind you. MF1 World leaves them to this fly almost. He's been passed by Maldonado. He's still got the inside line. What a swerve from MF1 World. How did he not hit the wall? 4 to the checkered flag. And in Japan, a little bit of a kamikaze move from the Skoda driver as Dav Sanchez now takes P5 from Sebastian Ocampo. But to talk on that former race leader in Yuki Tsuo, definitely not his day in 15th place. He's never really liked driving at his home event. And oh, out of the race has gone Ravo! And his teammate, Ina Babanus, also with troubles. It is wet out there. It is raining again with 4 laps to go. And for another time, Ravo has caused a major collision here in Tokyo with his teammate. You cannot write this for season 2 and now season 14. It's the second time Ravo has majorly hampered his teammate's race. Jacko Tigranes with a puncture. And yes, this has been very chaotic. We now have 3 to the checkered flag. Maldonado from Ocampo, from MF1 World, Sanchez, Yui, and Babanus. Then it's Neil Reschek, Clark, it's Nelson, Akari, Ikamino, and there's still yellow flags out there for Daniel Bogdasarov. He's just hit the wall. U-Cable was going to be the last one to come through this Casio triangle on dry tires because Leo has already come into the pits. But with 3 laps to go, it's absolute hell out there. that they've had to travel through. My goodness me, Sebastian Ocampo, he is on for a third race win in a row. If he can just close in and overtake that Jaguar ahead of him. He's got the more powerful car in that Andretti, but of course with that new gold wrap, it's made the car a little bit heavier, so that could actually be impacting him quite a bit. We've had 2 retirements here in Tokyo, Japan, and it's been an absolute thriller of a race. It started out very mid, but it's not going to end mid. It's going to be a show-stopping finale. Yeah, I can tell you that much. The gap between the race leaders is only 0.8 of a second as they go to begin lap 11. It is Pastor Maldonado from Ocampo from the MS1 World. We're in the wet, and we have only lost Ravo and JD Venter. Not a good day to have your 3 letter initial have the letter V in it. We've had many punctures in this race. We started in the wet, then we went dry, and now we're in the wet again. It has been absolutely insane to see here in Tokyo, Japan. But I've loved every second of it. It's been absolutely amazing. Ocampo 1.1 seconds off the back of Pastor Maldonado. Maldonado isn't actually streaking off into the lead, but he's also not right in front of Ocampo. He's just in that sweet spot that just makes him that much more out of reach, and it just makes him a little bit frustrating for Sebastian Ocampo. I really stumbled on my words, but I really hope you understand what I'm trying to get out here. Ocampo needs to get past this man if he wants to take home 3 race wins in a row, which would be the best of his career, and stamp his face into the Hall of Fame with a high probability of a championship. He's already leading the championship by 45 points. It would become, oh my goodness, 70 points of a lead over JD Venter. It would be absolutely insane if he could pull that off. I have no clue if he will get by though. He's 0.7 of a second off the back of Pastor Maldonado on this penultimate lap of the Prix. And he's really using everything he has. He's dumping the battery going through the Denya turns. He just needs to use it coming out of that sharp hairpin and then coming through Spoon and coming up. He really needs to use it there as well. But he's not using any battery deploy. He's 0.4 off the back of Pastor Maldonado. This could be it. This could be the race lead changing hands pretty soon. The gap between the race leaders, 0.4 of a second, 3 tenths. And Ocampo doesn't need DRS. All he needs is strong will, but he's 0.3 of a second off the back of that Jaguar coming through the Casio triangle. Didn't try to make the dive. Pastor Maldonado, he's increasing his gap, 0.6 of a second now. He might just have the race lead and the win in his hands as he begins the final lap of the E3. It is Pastor Maldonado from Ocampo from MS1 World, and Ocampo 1.1 seconds off the back of him. He is still trying to take that lead away from him. He's still trying to deny him, but he's run out of battery deploy. He's got nothing left in that car. Meanwhile, the car ahead of him, Pastor Maldonado, has been defending with everything he has. So this is going to be it. A dead heat straight to the line, quite possibly, if he can just get his car in the best possible condition, because he's not using any deploy. 2%, that's all Ocampo has. He's using it as often as he humanly can, but that's also what Maldonado is doing. The gap, 0.4 of a second. This could come down to the Casio triangle, guys. This could be it. As they come through Spoon Turn, and they are using all the battery they can use at all times. As soon as it says that he can use battery, he uses it. As they now come towards the Casio triangle through 130R, down towards the Casio triangle. The track looks very dry out there, but someone who doesn't need that dry track today is Pastor Maldonado, who comes through the final turn and he wins the Tokyo E3 and sets a new fastest lap, which gets handily taken by MS1 World. Maldonado is your winner today. What a race he has run. And commiserations go out to Sebastian Ocampo. It looked like he could have taken a win today, and it just wasn't meant to be for the Philippine driver. Is it actually driver out there for these last guys who are about to come across the line? There's a lot less spray coming off the back of the cars, is the thing. It looks very much almost dry out there. It is dry. There is basically no rain falling. As Baltasarov getting through the Casio Triangle, tire temperatures are getting a little bit insane out there. On board with UK Ball, he's safe to just not crash it into the wall. Leo is coming through that final chicane now. And this is a podium then. Castro Maldonado denying Sebastian Ocampo the third straight win from MF1 World, even with that 5-second time penalty. What a race from those top two drivers. It's been absolutely insane how well they've done it. Then it's Anot Curie, Dav Sanchez, Arnett Babnis, Marcus Nelson, and Akari. Then it's David Camino and Milrez, the top 10. Just outside of it, you have Lawless Leclerc, Yuki Suo, the home driver, not picking up any points today. Solis Kynes, Mahavir Jonathan Taylor, Schumacher, Chaco Tigranes, the top 16. Daniel Baltasarov, Bob, UK Ball, and Leo, your finishers. Your non-finishers were Ravo and JD Venter. In the drivers' standings, it's absolutely insane how well he's been managing his championship so far, but it is Sebastian Ocampo from JD Venter and Marcus Nelson. UK Ball is 4th from Anot Curie and Ravo. Pastor Maldonado 7th. And then it's Arnett Babnis and P8. Just outside to the top 8 there you have Solis Kynes, Lawless Leclerc, Akari, and MF1 World. Emil Reyes, Leo, Jaco Tigranes, David Camino, the top 16. And then you have Bob, Taylor Schumacher, Dav Sanchez, Mahavir Jonathan, Daniel Baltasarov, and Yuki Suo. In the constructors' standings, going into the next round in Rome, it is DS Andretti leading the way on 151 points from Mercedes EQ on 126, 5 points ahead of Hyperdrive. Then it is Jaguar, Lamborghini Mako, the Born Honda Grand Prix team, 10 points ahead of Red Bull Formula E, who seem to have overtaken Pinnacle today. And it is Skoda Volkswagen, 6 points ahead of Renault Edam, and Roden Toyota, 11. We'll see you guys next time then for the Rome E Prix.